So this week I made $3,210 clipping. It wasn't easy, but it's one of the most simple processes ever. It's not like I'm editing videos 24/7 or chasing clients all day. It's a simple system. The content comes in, the clips go out, and the payment hits. We worked about 40 hours this week, which is the same as a full-time job, a regular full-time job, except that full-time job is paying me almost $100 every single hour. The good thing about this work is that the heavy lifting is front loaded. I did the hard work months ago and it's still running to this day. So in this video, you're gonna see exactly what a $3,500 week looks like for a full-time clipper. I'm breaking down everything, showing you proof of the payments, exactly what the workload looks like, how I close the deals, and how you can do the exact same thing for yourself. Here we are, guys. Here we're on the computer. As you can see, like I said, I'm coming with the results. We're not messing around here. Before I even start, I do want to say that these payments that I'm counting in this week of clipping are only from payments that I received from actual clipping deals that I am doing. These are not from my agency deals where I am outsourcing the work. These are for deals that I am still actively making the clips for. So I want to keep it very realistic for you guys, and I did not include payments that I received for the agency where I outsourced the work. These are only deals where I was the one doing the clipping work, to keep it realistic for you guys, because a lot of you guys are not running an agency. The first set of payments that we're looking at here are a set of Whop payouts. Now, if you guys are not familiar with Whop, it's the one app that you should be on if you're a clipper. If you're getting into clipping, this is where you can find active content rewards or clipping campaigns where people already have money in there, and all you have to do is join their groups, set up accounts, start clipping for them, and you'll get paid automatically as you get views for their content. And as a bonus, at the end of this video, I'm going to give you a full Whop guide on how to start clipping on Whop if you're a beginner. So as we can see right here, we have a Whop payment on the 10th for $115, for $25 and $24. So in this day, we made a little over $150 just on Whop alone. But then our balance was also updated. We had a pending balance of $52, and then we had an actual available balance of $175. So again, these are payments from views that we generated through content rewards on Whop. Then over here, these are, like it says down here, these are private client payments. So these were payments from clients that I actually work with directly, versus on Whop, these are clip campaigns where you don't really talk to the actual person you're clipping for. You're more just like the person clipping for them, and you make your alternate account for them, and if you get views, you get paid. But these ones over here are private clients that I'm personally working with and communicating with on a daily basis, and they pay me directly. The first one up here was paid through Whop, $868.43, and this again was on the 10th, and then another one on the 12th for $750, and then another one today, today is the 17th, for $1,200. So again, this is in the span of a week where we collected all these payments for some private clients and then some Whop clipping campaigns. So in total, again, was $3,210 within this week of clipping for only payments that I was the one clipping for. So I was the one doing all the work for these payments that you're seeing right here. So in this video, I'm gonna break down what it actually took to complete these deals, how I close the deals, all that good stuff. So we'll start with the Whop clip campaigns payouts, and I would consider these beginner friendly because you don't really need crazy skills to get into this. The way I was able to get into these campaigns was literally just downloading the Whop app, finding the campaigns using my selection process, joining the campaign, setting up accounts, and clipping for them. So what do you actually need to start with these Whop clipping campaigns? Well, the skills needed are, number one, you need basic editing skills, right? You need to be familiar with some type of editing platform, whether it be on mobile or desktop. I know a lot of people who use CapCut Mobile who are making money clipping because they're really good at CapCut Mobile. So you don't need a computer for this. Obviously, it's harder if you're using mobile, but realistically, you can do it and make some money off of it. So you need to be at least familiar with one editing software, whether that's CapCut, DaVinci Resolve, Premiere Pro, whatever you're using to edit. You need to have basic editing skills. Don't be scared away if you don't have basic editing skills. You can still become a clipper. You just need to take at least a couple weeks to learn and like kind of build up these skills, but it's very, very easy. Honestly, it's one of the most simple skills out there. The barrier to entry is really, really low. You can start this skill and learn everything you need to know within your first couple of weeks. Now, number two, you need basic short form psychology understanding. So you need to understand what actually makes a good clip, right? And the basics of it is you need to understand how hooks work. You need to understand how pacing works, and you need to understand how cutting works. You need to understand that people have a very low attention span on short form platforms, so you need to be able to cut those and condense those clips very, very well. You need to understand how to hook viewers in with certain moments of your clip, and just the basic idea of what makes a good retention holding clip. And then lastly, you need strong self-motivation. Now, for Whop campaigns, again, you're not working directly with your clients, so you have to have a really strong self-motivating factor, because you need to be the one to motivate yourself to get on the campaigns, join the campaigns, be consistent with them, because nobody's going to tell you that you have to be consistent with them because they're not paying you up front. You're getting paid only when you get views. So they don't have any right to tell you that you have to do anything. They're not your boss, so you have to be able to tell yourself to sit down, do the work, and be consistent. So that's a huge factor when it comes to Whop clipping, is that you have to be able to get yourself to do the work without anybody really holding you accountable. Now, where do you actually start to get into Whop clipping, right? Number one, obviously download Whop or Discord. Now, Discord also has campaigns that you can clip for, and also I have a free Discord group where you can join some of my public campaigns if I have any active campaigns. And if you want that Discord, go to my Instagram, it's in the description of this video, DM me and I'll send you access to my free Discord where you can join some of my campaigns and also connect with me and my group. Now, you also just need to simply join the active Whop campaigns, and I'm going to show you at the end of this video how to do all of this. This is just a quick overview. Then you do the selection process, which is just figuring out what Whop campaigns are best to start clipping for. You start your account, start clipping, and you want to clip for at least 1 to 3 campaigns at a single time for 2 to 4 weeks. So make sure that you're consistent for at least 2 to 4 weeks when you start clipping for a campaign. Because if you're not, you're never really gonna know if what you were doing was worth it. You're never gonna know if the results were actually realistic because you weren't consistent. And the results are only realistic if you're consistent. So if you get bad results and you were inconsistent, you'll never know if you did anything wrong besides being inconsistent. So this is all you need to start on Whop or Discord campaigns. Highly recommend it if you're a beginner, because again, the barrier to entry is very, very low and anybody really can just start this. Now let's go into these private client payments. And again, I said this is advanced because you do have to do some legwork and you do have to have more experience to close these deals. Now, obviously these are bigger deals, right? Over here, we only see like a couple $100 every single few days, but over here we're seeing full payments of $800, $750, and even up to $1,200. Now, my average client pays me about $1,500 a month, so these are just half payments. They'll pay me half up front and then half when we get a certain amount of views. So these are $868 up front, $750 up front, and then we have one for $1,200. So again, these are much bigger payments and you'll make a lot more money with this, but they do require more experience and they do require you to have more authority in what you're doing and more conviction behind what you're doing, because you're not going to be able to close deals if you don't know what you're doing and if you haven't had time in the game. So what skills do you need? You need strong clipping skills. Over here, like I said, you need basic editing skills, but over here you need strong clipping skills. You need to really understand what makes a good clip, and you need to be able to apply that process of making a good clip to any style of content. So whatever client you're working with, you need to be able to take their content and apply a really good strategy of making those clips to their content. So you can't just have a general idea of kind of how it works. You need to know exactly how to take any type of content and make it a good clip. So you need strong clipping skills. At this point, you should not be using mobile editing softwares. You should only be using a computer, because you're working with private clients. You should invest into yourself and into your business and have better resources to make these clips really, really good. Number 2, you need strong culture research skills. One of the most important parts about clipping for clients is that you need to be able to understand the culture behind their content. You need to be able to go and research who they are as a person, who their ICP is, that's their target audience. You need to understand who they are, what their business is, what they're offering, and what their goals are when it comes to content. And then using that research that you did into their culture, that's how you will make your clips. Because you have to be able to portray the culture of their ideal customers through the content. And you cannot do this if you're not able to do that research, and if you don't understand how to do research on social media to understand what they need to make their content look like. And then 3rd, you need strong communication skills. Over here with Whop campaigns, you don't really need to talk to anybody, so you don't need strong communication skills. If anything, the creators might reach out to you and ask you some questions, but usually you'll never be the one leading a conversation. While over here with private clients, you need to be able to be in constant communication with your clients to make sure that everything is working smoothly. And usually you're going to be the one reaching out to them more than they are reaching out to you. So you need to have very good communication skills, because if not, deals are usually going to fall apart and they're not going to work with you more than once. And then lastly, you just need proof of experience. You need to be able to take everything you've done, package it up nicely, and showcase that to potential clients, because if not, you'll have no way to prove that you actually know what you're doing and to prove that you're actually worth $1,200 or $750 or $868. The easiest way to do this is to start by being a Whop clipper. Start on Whop, join campaigns, start building results, start building testimonials, start building real experience. And then as you're getting those results, take all those results, start packaging them up, and then sending them to creators saying, hey, this is what I've done before. This is what I know how to do. I can do the same for you. Let's work. And that's how you're going to start closing these type of deals. You can't usually close these deals without already knowing somewhat about the industry. These you can get started right away with zero experience. Now, where do you start to close these private deals? Number one, you need to build a network by giving free or cheap value. This is very unfortunate, and I know it's not fun to do, and I wouldn't recommend doing it long. I recommend only doing this for a couple people when you're very first starting out, when you have no clients. But after you land your actual first client, you never want to do this again. But this is just a good way to build a network and start engaging with different people by giving them the opportunity to get something from you of value for a lower cost than the usual market. So you can either offer people free trials, you can offer people a free clip, or you can just kind of get on free calls with people or give them a free strategy call or whatever it is. You want to give some sort of cheap or free value to them to show that you know what you're doing and to show that you're willing to take the extra step because you don't really have much to back up your work yet. Number two is you want to create just one single offer. Now, whatever this may be, this could be a monthly retainer minimum. You say, hey, I only want to close deals that are at least $1,000 a month. Make that your set offer and stick to that, because it's going to be easier for you to find that person that's willing to pay $1,000, and you won't have to go through the hard process of working with very low quality clients paying you only $150 a month to do a bunch of clips that it's not even worth it for you. So make sure that you think about what you want to be paid as a clipper and set that as your offer minimum and stick to that. So every time you talk to a new potential client, you tell them, I don't take anything less than X amount. And if they can't afford it, then tell them, hey, this is what we can offer you for now, or just wait and we'll have another call in another month to see if you qualify after that. The simple idea here is that you're not going lower than your minimum because you want to keep a standard, because if you can sell to everybody, then you're not really valuable and they can tell when you're just trying to close a deal. You don't want to be scrambling for a deal. You want to set yourself up as an authority in what you do, because at this point you already have enough experience to come with some authority and they need you more than you need them. And that goes into number three, where you want to build authority by starting on Whop and getting results. Like I just said, start as a Whop clipper, get some experience and results, and then go from there, because now you have authority, you know what you're doing, and you can provide that information to the clients that you start working with. Number four is cultivate relationships by offering specific service. So don't scramble around trying to sell everything on the earth. Just stick to one service. Say, hey, I do, monthly clip packages where I can make you, anywhere from 30 to 120 clips within a month. That is your specific offer. That's your specific service. Maybe you want to do Whop campaign management, which I didn't talk about in this video, but that is one of the options. Stick to just that. Whatever it is, whatever service you're offering within clipping, stick to that one service. Maybe you also offer strategy consulting. Stick to that service. For me, I kind of do multiple ones, but I have people that help me with each specific service. That way I'm not scrambling around just trying to close any deal that I possibly can. I have set offers for each different service. I don't scramble around and change my offers based on whoever I want to close a deal with. They are set in stone, and if people want them, they will pay for them how they are set up. So set up your specific services, and that will help you cultivate relationships, because they know what they're coming to you for. They know exactly what you're going to do within that month or within that term that you're offering your service, and they know exactly what's going to come, and that way you can kind of gauge your results a little bit better. Number five is reach out to clients within a niche you've gotten results in. So if you're clipping for a client on Whop who maybe was a day trader, make sure that you only target, when you're first starting out, make sure that you only target people within the day trading space. That way you can come to them and say, hey, I've already gotten results for this guy who's in a similar industry as you or in the same industry as you. I can do the same for you. I really understand your industry and I've gotten results in it before, so I have a better chance of getting results for you. Let's hop on a call and see if it would work for you. And that's a great way for you to set up automatic credibility with the people that you're reaching out to, because you've gotten results within their industry. And the last one is use the creator you clip for as credibility. So when you're reaching out to these new people to clip for, you want to make sure that in your DM or whatever method you're using to outreach to them, you want to make sure that you use the creator's name that you've clipped for in the beginning. So let's say, obviously this is not a good example because everybody follows him, but let's say you clip for TJR. You're reaching out to day traders. You want to make sure you use in that title, make sure you say, I clipped for TJR. These are the results I got for him. I could do the same for you. Let's hop on a call and see if you're ready for it. That's just an idea, but obviously whoever you've clipped for, make sure to use them as credibility and outreach to the people that know that creator and use them as a way to get your foot in the door. So this is exactly how you're going to. Now for the $868, this was actually a referral client. So I worked with somebody that they knew, they referred me because I got good results for them, and it was a very easy close because they already had automatic credibility. They knew exactly who I was, and they knew that I could get results because somebody that they trusted told them that I could. These are great deals to close because they're so easy, and I would say that the only way that you're gonna be able to close deals like this is once you get your first client. So again, focus on results. Always focus on results over trying to close the deals because that's how you'll get referrals like this. This $750 one was a cold DM outreach where I texted the guy and say, hey, I got results for this guy that you know. I could do the same for you. Let's work. That's an automatic close because I set up credibility, like I said, with somebody that he knows that I got results for. This one down here, this $1,200 payment happened in a very similar way, except I didn't even have credibility. I just said, hey, these are some results I've gotten for other guys in different industries. Let me know if you want to hop on a call and see if I can help with your short form clipping process. And then he was able to get on a call with me, and from there I was able to sell on him, and from there I sold him just because I was good at speaking and I had a lot of conviction behind what I was doing. And that's one of the most important parts about closing deals with people that you don't know and that you can't really set up credibility with. The only way to sell to them is if you have very strong conviction behind what you're doing and you're very confident in your offer because you know it works. People can hear if you're confident in your offer, and the only way to get confident in this clipping space is if you start in the trenches, which is Whop or Discord clipping. So with that being said, we're gonna hop over to Whop, and I'm gonna quickly give you my Whop sauce. This is my way of navigating Whop and finding the best campaigns to clip for and how you can get started as a complete beginner and start making money so you can start building credibility so you can start closing your own clients. So obviously download the Whop app, set up your account. It doesn't really matter how you set up your account because again, people aren't really gonna care about you. You're just your own solo little guy who's gonna do your own thing. So once you're in Whop, you wanna come to the Discover page right here, and you're gonna come to clipping. Once you click clipping, you're gonna either go to podcast clipping or video clipping. We're gonna clip video clipping, and we're literally just gonna scroll around in this video clipping section until we find anything that says anything about making money clipping. As we can see right here, clip for Dambra, earn $1 per 1,000 views. This one says make $3 per 1,000 views clipping Ambro. Anything that has anything to do with getting paid for clipping, you wanna join these groups. Now, once you join these groups, you have to do a process of vetting it to make sure that it's actually legit, because a lot of these campaigns will either be inactive, they won't be that legit, they're not paying very well, or they're just not paying at all. So you need to actually do a process of making sure that these clip campaigns are legit and that they're actually paying people out and they're actually something that's worth clipping for. So this is an example right here of a clip campaign that ended recently, and I'm going to show you how to kind of understand if it's a good campaign to clip for. So if we look right here, the first thing that we want to look at is you want to find the content reward section where the budget is actually at. So if you were to join a campaign, you want to make sure that they have a decently sized budget that you can actually get money from. So in this example, we can see the budget right here, $2,892 out of $2,892 paid out. That means that the full budget has been paid out. 100% of it is gone, so there is no more money to make in this campaign. These are the campaigns that you want to avoid, or at least you can join them, but you don't want to start clipping for them, obviously, because there is no money to make. Now, when this campaign first started, it said $0 out of $2,892 paid out. That is a campaign that you can start clipping for. I would say only clip for a campaign that has a minimum of $1,000 available. If they have less than $1,000 available, just wait until they either renew, refill the budget, or add more money into it. Another thing you want to look at is the RPM. This one is paying $2 per 1,000 views. You want to look for anything around 75 cents or more per 1,000 views. Another thing to look at is simply go to the chat and make sure that people are actually consistently talking in this chat. Make sure that it's active so you know that people are actually working for this group and that it's actually an active group. Because if it's just dead, probably nothing going on in that group and it's probably not something that you want to clip for. Then you want to check if they have any type of guidelines or set rules that you have to follow to get paid for. And you just want to simply read through these guidelines to make sure that they're not too strict. Make sure that there's nothing weird going on. Make sure that they all seem legit. Usually they'll have basic guidelines like how they need to make the clips, how you need to set up your accounts, and that's all fine. The main thing you want to see with these clip campaigns is that they have good content. So you want to look into the creator that you're clipping for. In this case, it's this girl. You want to take a deep dive into the person that you're going to be possibly clipping for and make sure that they're actually posting content that is going viral. If they're posting content and it's not really going viral, it might not be somebody you want to clip for. You want to make sure that they're actually posting quality content on a consistent basis, because that way you'll actually know, is this person worth clipping for? Are they consistently posting footage for me to make good clips from so I can get views, so I can get paid? Because again, this is based on results. You have to get views to get paid. So you have to make sure that the person you're clipping for will actually get views. Then you simply want to ask around with other clippers, make sure that they're getting paid, make sure that everything's running smoothly, make sure that the people that are running the group are actually actively paying out people and actively reviewing submissions. If all of that checks out, then you're good to go. The last thing you want to make sure is that it's actually something you want to do. Make sure that the person you're clipping for is somebody that you could see yourself watching their content and actually figuring out what good clips are, and on a daily basis going through their content and making clips for. Because again, to get results, you need to do this every single day and post at least one time a day for 2 to 4 weeks to make sure that you're getting consistent results. Once you find, I'd say around 3 to 5 campaigns that you want to start clipping for, you want to set up your accounts, do the warm-up process, do the entire process to make sure that your account stays healthy. If you don't know how to do this, make sure to join my group where I teach you everything about clipping in depth. I have over 25 video modules on how to become a successful clipper. It's going to be the first link in the description of this video. So if you want more information, if you want more one-on-one guidance on how to get started with this or how to scale as this, then make sure to click that link and join the group below. But once you get everything set up, start clipping. Like I said, go consistently for at least 2 to 4 weeks. And you want to work for at least 1 to 3 campaigns at a time, but make sure that you're putting all your effort into these campaigns. Now, lastly, one more piece of advice to know how to make your clips. Once you set up your account for one of these creators, all you need to do is find the top most successful other clipping accounts for that creator and literally just copy what works for them. This game is not about reinventing the wheel. Find the other clippers that are getting successful and copy exactly what they're doing. Now, you can't just download their clips and repost them because that's not going to work with the algorithm. All you need to do is find the same clip moment that they got that went viral, put it into your editing software, edit it with a slightly different style, and repost it on your account, and most likely it will go viral if you did everything else correctly. So guys, that's exactly how you're gonna get started as a clipper. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe. I'm gonna be dropping at least 1 video per week on clipping. Let me know if there's any specific tutorials or videos you guys want on clipping in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.